everybody, and welcome back to the Richman Guides Travel Talk. This is episode 2, review of Allure of the Seas. For those of you that have been here for at least the last episode, or you previously saw me back in pre-2018 when I was making videos on YouTube, you guys are aware that I have gone on plenty of cruises and I've been wanting to make reviews of different cruise ships. I have finally been able to piece everything together, and we're going to have our first review of a cruise ship. Allure of the Seas, the second Oasis class ship that came to the Royal Caribbean Cruise Line. A couple weeks ago, I was able to take an opportunity to go on Allure of the Seas on a short 3-night cruise that went to Nassau and Coco Cay, and then right back to Port Canaveral. And I do have the opportunity to go back on this ship a couple more times. So this review will be just a general overview. I'm not going to do any kind of top 10s or anything like that. That will be for a future video when we come back in March. But back to the focus on here. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Jonathan. I am your travel guru here on the Richman Guides Travel Talk. I have been on 29 cruises so far, and I've got 30 coming up with Symphony of the Seas. More on that a little bit later. I just wanted to start with the most recent cruise that I went on for Allure of the Seas. This ship opened on the Royal Caribbean Cruise Line. It had its grand debut in 2010, and it was actually kind of cool going on this ship because they have some placards around. Unfortunately, I didn't get any pictures of it this time. I'll get them for next time and put them on blog posts of the first time the ship was able to visit a few different ports. Now, it has really only been down here in the Caribbean, but it has been a beautiful ship to add to the crew down here of all the different ships that come out of the east coast of Florida. Now, I want to start with food. You have your standards on this ship. A lot of people really like to talk about food overall, and I'm not a big foodie person, even though I love food. Let's just quickly get through it. You have your standards of Windjammer. That's your buffet. You've got Sorrento's Pizza, always good. You have up front, you have the Solarium Bistro, which we didn't try this time. I'll try it on the next go when I go on it. It's been great on other ships. You also have the main dining room is a nice place to eat. And you also have El Loco Fresh, which is up on the sports deck. You also have your specialty dining, which for this, we went to the Samba Grill, which is their Brazilian steakhouse. It takes place in the Solarium Bistro. So by day, Solarium Bistro. By night, Samba Grill. Some pretty good food on there. A bunch of different meats, just like your traditional Brazilian steakhouses that are here, like Texas de Brazil, and like El Fuego that used to be in the Brandon area many, many years ago. But food was delicious there. Service, amazing. And then, by far, one of the best places we've eaten, Chops. Chops on this ship, amazingly done. It's right in Central Park. If you guys have looked, you've seen a few pictures that have popped up over the last few days on the Instagram. Make sure you follow at Richman Guides. And you have also seen that there's a lot to this ship beyond just the food. And we'll get a full food review in March once I go on the ship again and I try a few different other things. All right, so let's talk about shows, because on the Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines, each ship has a few different shows depending on what the ship size is and what different theaters. On Allure of the Seas, there's 3 different show areas. You have the Aqua Theater on the back, which has Ocean Aria, a beautiful production and fun and entertaining with high dives as high as I think it was like 30 feet or so plus, probably more than that because I couldn't even judge the distance. You also have the ice skating show where you can skate on ice on the water, but that's only on certain times. At least in the show for this one, it was quite interesting. It was blades in which the skaters took over and had their own playlist, which I think was kind of cool. It was a fun little production. There's a few other productions that I like a bit more, but this one was still a fun one if you are able to go on Allure of the Seas. But by far the best production that I have seen on any of the Oasis class ships, even on the every single class ship from Royal Caribbean, has to be their Broadway style show of Mamma Mia. And it does have a 15-minute intermission, so this is like a full production of Mamma Mia. It is very well done. amazing actors, amazing actresses, amazing voices. Like, you have to see it to believe it. And I am going to see it more than once, hopefully, on the next couple times that I do go back on Allure of the Seas. I also want to talk about the different activities that you can find throughout the ship. Now, most of your cruise lines do have your casino, which Oasis class ships do, Allure of the Seas does, and they have a smoke-free casino. But moving on from that, because I want to focus on the actually more fun things that there are, you have a bunch of different things throughout the ship. Like we mentioned, the shows, the 3 different theaters. You can do ice skating in the ice rink in Studio B. You also have the rock climbing wall on the back of the ship, which goes up from the whole boardwalk area, which also has a hot dog stand there. You've got Johnny Rockets, great food there. You also have the water theater there, the aqua theater. So you can go up one of the 2 rock walls that's on the back side. You also have on the sports deck, you've got zip line, you've got 2 flow riders, you have the mini golf, you have basketball court. You can even go out into the many different pools. There's actually a beach pool in which you can go down, and it's a 0 entry pool. Very few ships have this. You also have the whole solarium area. You've got the Royal Promenade with the rising tide bar that actually goes from the Royal Promenade all the way up to my favorite place to hang out and my dad's favorite place to hang out, Central Park. Where Central Park, you have a couple different shops, and you've got a couple different cafes and restaurants there that you can just sit back and relax and enjoy. And if you guys have followed me on my personal, on my other Instagram account, that one we have shown a picture of my father just sitting back and relaxing. Take me back. But you also have, on this ship, you have, I can't even think what it is. I don't want to be a downer on this ship. And it's there's 2 things on this ship that are not there, but they're on the other Oasis class ships because either I added on when the ship was built or it was amplified like Oasis was. And that is the Ultimate Abyss slide, which goes from the sports deck down to the boardwalk. And there's no water slides on the ship. I think that's 2 of the things that kind of bring this ship a little bit down on my rankings. Once I do a whole ship ranking, once this ship goes into dry dock, because it was supposed to go into dry dock pre something. Not going to mention it right now, but it was supposed to go into dry dock. It was supposed to get those amplified updates, but they had to hold off on it. And once Utopia comes in, then the Allure of the Seas will be able to go into dry dock. It'll get these additions like the Ultimate Abyss and the slides that it was supposed to have, the water slides. But other than that, this ship is an amazing ship. It's a fun cruise ship. I believe 3 days is not enough for the Oasis class, but if you're looking for a quick getaway and you need something that has a lot of activities and you don't want to go out onto the port, Oasis class ship all the way. Allure of the Seas, I will give it, let's just put it out of 10. I will give it an 8.5 out of 10. Some room for improvement, but definitely amazing food, amazing service, great shows, and the activities, the sheer number of activities you can do, whether you want to relax, you want to learn some salsa, you got some trivia on there as well. Anything you can think of, you can find here on Allure of the Seas. Speaking of what you can find on Allure of the Seas, our next cruise will be on Symphony of the Seas. So you will see multiple different videos coming from that, multiple different episode podcasts. We'll try and do a review of the food. We'll try and do a review of the shows. We'll do a review of the different activities on there. There's a few more that are on there that are not on the other ships. And just also the ports. I will try to do my best for the ports. No guarantees on that because I am here to have fun as well as try to just study for future reference for anybody that is wishing to go on a future trip. Speaking of trips, if you do want to look into booking for a cruise, well, you got someone right here who's been on 29 cruises with a 30th coming up. and has so much knowledge and is certified with Royal Caribbean and Disney, go to richmanguides.com, RichmanGuides.com. It's also in the description down below. And take a look on there, send us a message, and we'll be able to get you guys a free quote on whatever kind of trip you're looking at doing. If I can't help you out, I will get you guys into the best resources at hand, just like your neighborhood realtor. But other than that, that's all I've got for today. We just had a quick review. Now, for those of you that haven't noticed, it is Christmas Day, and because it's Christmas Day, I have a special episode that will be airing within an hour of this one, and it will be a Christmas special of top places to be for the holidays. So make sure you tune into that. Make sure you tune in next week. It'll be the top places to visit for the New Year's. And tune in the following week because I've got one of my friends joining us. His name is Christian. Used to work with him for quite some time, and now he is working at another location, which I'm going to keep that under wraps because you just have to keep your ears out and your eyes out for the future episodes. Once again, that's all I've got for today. If you haven't done so yet, hit the subscribe button down below. Give us a rating. Give us a like. And if you have any suggestions for us for future episodes, make sure you put it in the comments below, or you send us an email on richmanguides.com. Other than that, have a great rest of your day, guys. Merry Christmas, and I'll see you guys in the next adventure.